This is ACOFAE. Laura Marie and Jessica Marie proudly present A Court of Fandoms and Exploration, a podcast. Fair warning, everything the hosts say is explicit, full of spoilers and adult content and shall not be used against them. They have opinions. Let's try not to drag anyone for expressing themselves and just have fun for an hour. We all deserve it.
This episode contains spoilers from the movie Eurotrip with mentions of Euphoria, American Pie, and Interstellar. For full list, please see show notes.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to A Court of Fandoms and Exploration, your weekly deep dive into the fantasy, literature, and fandoms that we love. I'm Laura Marie.
And I'm Jessica Marie.
And today we are discussing the cult classic movie Eurotrip,
which was released in February 2004. So forever ago, over 20 years ago, but we're not gonna rub that in. But it was definitely a movie that was politically incorrect. Definitely a movie that would not be made now, and definitely on the raunchier side, I guess. Like, it was the height of like raunchy comedy, I guess. Like those early, like late 2000s or like late 90s, early 2000s cult classic films.
See, now you've got me Googling when American Pie came out. American Pie came
90s.
out in 99. So
yeah.
I would say this is on par with the raunchy teen comedies that were popular at the time. American Pie has an entire series. Jess, you and I were talking about Scary Movie. This one, obviously, there's a lot of other raunchy teen movies. The last one that I kind of remember seeing before I do feel like the genre died out was Superbad. And then Napoleon Dynamite, let's throw that in there too. There were a lot of them. But on the raunchier side, some of them, and a reflection of the times, right? Like, art reflects the times, and this is what was selling. This is what we wanted. This is what the populace wanted. This is what was popular. This is Michelle Trachtenberg looking phenomenal. This is a bunch of random people in a movie that is amazing and funny. And I completely agree with you, Jess, that this would not get made now. And I think that also is a reflection of the times, because do people want this kind of movie now? I don't know, man. Everybody's got us in fucking prairie dresses, worried about our... Everybody's worried about Sabrina Carpenter's tits and stuff. Like, just leave everybody alone. It was so raunchy back then. Christina Aguilera was in her dirty era. Like, let's remember what that was like for people. You know, Britney was Britneying to times 10,000. So we have to kind of, I don't know, put ourselves in context to it. I would say enjoy this in a way that is not riddled in like self-loathing and guilt, because this movie fucking slaps. It's funny as hell.
It's so funny. And I know we discussed before we started recording, neither of us had seen this in the theater. I don't even think I was aware of it. I don't remember any commercials or trailers or anything, but I think that's one of the things that makes it a cult classic. It's the after of it all, right? And I can't think of times where we didn't quote this movie. I mean, even when we were in Milan and one of our trips to Italy, we took a train instead of flying because Laura was based in Germany. And it was the first thing one of the things we just kept saying every time we went through a tunnel. It was like, "Mi scusi," even in our private compartment. And then even when people would join us in the compartment, it's hard not to. And even more recently with the conclave and the election of the new pope, this movie was making its circuits, making the rounds on the social circuits, because it was just such a staple of a pop culture moment where art imitates life kind of thing. And it felt very real. You're like, oh my gosh, I know about this process because of this movie.
And I think it's also very important that the two male leads in this movie are like not huge famous actors. We don't really see them in a lot of things, but Matt Damon's in this movie. That's what? Lucy Lawless is in this movie. Huh? Fred is in this movie. What?
Yeah, they pulled some. Did you know it was Matt Damon right away when you saw it? Because somebody had to tell me. Oh, I didn't. I was just like, wait, what? I brought to my attention.
I remember being like, no, no, that's not. Because Matt Damon, I mean, obviously the way that he's dressed, but like Matt Damon, you're like, there's no, why? But again, this is just on, see, and this is why we were all children at the time. We were unfamiliar with the lore of Matt Damon, which is Matt Damon likes to pop into movies uncredited and just like, boom, boom, I'm in this movie. That, I guess that's a spoiler for Interstellar. Boom, I'm in this movie.
I never saw Interstellar.
Boom. Boom. Not in the poster, not nowhere. Boom, it's Matt Damon. He likes to show up on places. And you know what? I love that because I love Matt Damon and I love Ben Affleck. I love the two of them together. I love a lot of Ben Affleck's early work with Kevin Smith specifically. But this movie, let's talk about this movie, Jessica. Who is in this movie? Who are these characters?
Well, I didn't write the actor's name down. Shame on me. But we do have Scotty. Scotty is our male protagonist. He has a group of friends. His best friend, Cooper.
I would argue that Cooper's the main character.
True.
Without Cooper, none of this happens without Cooper. Cooper is behind every single action that drives this movie forward.
100% true. But the writers, you know what? This is just like an author situation, right? Because it's like authors write the female main character, the male main character, and then it's like your side characters
your fun
who
friend.
are just like they are the shining stars and nobody sees it coming. That has to be what Eurotrip was because the writers, obviously, it's called Eurotrip. There's a whole song, Scotty Doesn't Know. Mm-hmm. So to the writers, Scotty's the main character, but to the consumer, Cooper's the main character. And then you have Michelle Trachtenberg. She plays Jenny. And then why am I blanking on her twin brother's name?
Jamie.
That's why. I mean, shows his significance in his role in the movie, but it is significant. They are a group of best friends. They're all graduating high school, and Jamie and Jenny, they are going on like a post-graduation Eurotrip. Well, really, it was just they were going to France, and you know, that is the times, your post-graduation trip. And Scotty was going to stay home. He was going to work at his dad's medical practice before he starts college because he's pre-med. And Cooper is going to just do the law thing and work at his, you know, somebody he knows, their law firm. So they all had post-graduation plans. And what is a good teen movie in the 90s or 2000s without a good old house party? And you know what? I love this house party. This house party is a celebration. It's graduation. And the best thing about a house party is, Laura, we've talked about this, and I know the conversations are going on socials. There are discussions happening that house parties don't exist anymore, or why isn't anything fun? Nobody's dancing, or this, that, the other thing, or you're being dramatic. That's an exaggeration. House parties aren't like that. Well, house parties are still like that, alive and well in various college towns and various Greek lives. And also depends on where you are. There was a point in our lives that we learned how to rely on ourselves to make the fun, to create the fun, whether it was gathering at Walmart parking lot, going into the woods and having a bonfire or bonfires on the beach. So when people have the commentary, that's just an exaggeration. To that we say, if you're boring, just say that. Just create your own fun. And that's what this house party was. They were creating their own fun. And there's a band. And much like All American Rejects doing their house party tour, we have a band here who is dating Scotty's ex-girlfriend now because she's been cheating on Scotty the whole time.
Fiona!
Kristen Crook. I don't know if I'm saying her last name right, but she's been gorgeous since day one. And of course, Scotty's devastated. His hot-ass girlfriend's been cheating on him with the lead singer of a band who wrote a diss track about it.
Happy anniversary, baby.
And so that becomes an international hit later. We learn later in the film. And how could it not? Because Scotty doesn't know that him and Fiona do it in his van every Sunday.
It's amazing, amazing stuff. Let's build up Scotty a little bit more. Scotty is so cool. He has a German pen pal that he is religiously kept in contact with, and he thinks that this German pen pal is a guy, and he has told this guy that he has just been dumped by his girlfriend, and and what happens? Cooper says, what? That's kind of weird. You know who does that? Sex predators. And I bet the next thing that's going to happen is this guy is going to say, oh, you're single? Let's arrange for a meeting. Because that's what sex predators do. That's what Cooper says. And let's just keep that in the back of our head. And then he's like, well, fuck that. Let's go to a house party. Jess, I will call your attention to the fact that there are no cell phones. Yeah. At this house party, nobody is recording the band. Nobody is doing any of this. Everybody's just jamming out and drinking. 'Tis the times. This was the times. It was a different time. It's a different time. It was a different time. I will also,
in the moment, we will always have our memory.
We'll have our memories. I'll also draw your attention to the fact that little brother Bert, who is very funny, is very active with the video camera, right? We have a physical video camera here. I mean, this is a place, a time, a moment, a relic, a capsule, right? This is what it was at that time. We have a video camera. We love that. Jamie and Jenny, excellent twins. No, they're horrible twins. Let's establish that early on. They are the worst twins. Why'd you get me Jin? I hate Jin. You do? Terrible.
They know each other. Not at all. Sorry about Fiona, Scotty. She's a whore. Damn, Jenny coming in hot. But she's not wrong. She's not wrong. Do you want to see my itinerary? Do you want to see my balls? I think I should be very clear that King Cooper is my favorite character here. Everything he says is golden. I love his journey. I love the way that he kind of grounds everybody while also keeping it like light, but also slightly annoying. It's gold, and he really shines. I have always thought of him as like this low budget David Spade in this movie, and I do feel like that is an accurate description of that. I feel like Cooper's the character, especially at the end of this movie, and there's going to be spoilers if you watch this or not, that he's the one that doesn't have to put the effort in and things just come easy to him. And that I would have been like, what do you mean? Like, I would have been friends with him, but I would have been like, oh, you have it so easy. Did you even try? I mean, he just always, I don't even want to say he has something up his sleeve because he's smart and he's charismatic and he just knows how to play the game, and the game is so easy to him and effortless, where you have people like me and Jamie like, but I did everything right. So
It's very funny. It's very funny. Okay, so but let's all picture this in our head. Scotty doesn't know is playing in the background, right? Cooper breaks the fourth wall. There's your R rating right there. This isn't where I parked my car. Jess and I both watched the unrated version of this, and there is like an extended boob rubbing scene here where it's like, it's very graphic. It's very handsy. There's a lot of rubbing. And Cooper is just sitting there like, yay, hi.
Smart. I mean, it's a combination of he was using his charisma and he also reeled in the not smartest person to do this with. So.
And he also, to be fair though, he also stayed on that side of the pool, kept his hands to himself until the very 100%. End.
Where he suggests, he still doesn't touch her. Oh, let me help you with that.
And she says yes.
And she says yes. There's all consent. And for the, like, everybody's still sober at this part of the party. Mm-hmm. Fun fact, he was not sober in the recording of him getting thrown post this jacuzzi scene because there is a scene. It's a house party. There are kegs, and there's actually real beer in the kegs. So they were all fucking wasted.
We love that. We love that. Realistic. We love it. We love it. This is where I park my car. We love it. Scotty. So a lot of this is like cuts. So like we're at the party and then we cut to Scotty pissing on his robe or Bert's robe in the bathroom. And then we cut somewhere else. This is a teen raunchy movie. I mean, we're not talking about like smooth cinematic art here. We're going with it. He shoots off this angry drunk email, to Mike/Mika. And he's like, keep your hands off my genitals.
Yeah, because at this point, Mike has responded to Mike has said like, oh, sorry to hear about your breakup with your girlfriend. We should meet up. And this is already with Cooper in the back of Scotty's mind. Oh my gosh, only predators that you meet online, they're the ones who want to meet up like that. And honestly, again, I can't even say sign of the times. That should still be something like that should be in the back of all of our heads, which is so hard also because like people form communities online and we try to find fandom. And that was like a huge thing with like TikTok still is like finding communities and meeting people and going to these balls. So it's like you're trying to balance both of that, finding that sense of community online while hoping they're also not predators.
And also Facebook Marketplace and arranging those meetings.
Those are so crazy. Why nobody has established to meet those in front of a police precinct, I don't know.
Yep. So very fun. He shoots off this angry email, passes out, wakes up to his brother. I'm never drinking again. His brother reading his emails and being like, "Your German, Scotty, is terrible. I was a very sad girl." That's intro to German. Scotty.
He's a good that little brother roasts him hard continuously. If there's going to be a good little brother roast, it's him. And he deserves every part of it too.
Yep.
He's like, you dumbass,
because he schools him even further because he takes out the picture and he's like, "No, little brother, this is, Jan and this is,
he's like, this
Mike.
is Jan and this is Mike."
Yeah,
and he's like,
no, you idiot.
This is where we learn, again, cultural names. Jan is Jan in German, which is a popular men's name. And then Mike is actually Mika, which is the German version of Michelle. And Scotty he crashes out. And he's trying to rescind his email, saying like, "No one send," but she's already gotten it at this point. And she was like, "Fuck you, you stupid American."
Stood on business, blocked his ass, no questions.
Blocked his ass. Good for her.
Yep, no questions asked. Done. Now comes King Cooper. Just as you said, our progressive king in 2004. Oh my God, Cooper, I'm in love with Mike. Okay. You know what? I've been expecting this. I'm flattered that you chose me to come out to first.
And I say progressive because this is 2004 and mainstream media. This was released in theaters. I feel like the most mainstream thing, aside from Ellen coming out on her show in the 90s and then being blacklisted from Hollywood for a while, and then you had Will and Grace. I don't think there was a lot of in between, and maybe season 1 of Friends, but that was more like Ross left his wife who came out.
Mm-hmm. No, you don't understand. Mike's a girl. Yeah, no. I get it, Scotty. Mike's a girl. He's the girl. You're the girl. Sometimes you're both the girl. Right? That's hot. We love Cooper.
I'm honored. I am honored.
I love him. No hesitation. Absolutely none. He was just like processing. Yes, absolutely. Let's handle this. There was no question. Fantastic. Even though it's like, no, right? Like, I told him to keep my hands off my genitals. Well, that's the last place, the last thing you want. Amazing.
But even through all of this, they were like, wait, why don't you just go to Europe? We know people who are going to be in Europe. We can make a whole thing about this.
Again, that's Cooper. Scotty says, no, I have to work. I have to work. And Cooper says, why? Ironically.
You know, and I agree with Cooper in my lived age. I feel like I was like, yeah, you're going to be your last summer, especially if you're pre-med, that you have to, and honestly, you're already like, you're going to work at your dad's medical practice. Okay, you have 3 or 4 other summers that you can keep doing that. The summer after high school, take a big breather before life hits you in the ass. So yes, go. And Cooper was like this, and we don't realize this till they're already in Europe, is that Cooper's doing the same thing. He's in his law firm taking calls on his cell phone that his office provided him. But one of the things, there was a plan. Again, Cooper, you know what? They didn't even bother to go online to purchase these tickets. They went straight to the airport. And guess what? They found a one-way ticket to London from Ohio for $118. And not even like on a Spirit Airlines. They were on Lufthansa.
For some reason. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I can't make it make sense, but whatever. I also want to point out that they are on a direct flight from Rome to Cleveland. Coming back. I'm so sorry. I Googled it. It does not exist. I Googled it just to make sure you have to do at least one stop. The average is like 2+. So
I could see them like, especially Lufthansa, if it's a United. And again, this is 2004. So who knows like where the airline agreements were. But if you think about it now, and it was United's hub was always in Newark, one of them. So they still would have had to do Rome to Newark. And there wasn't a direct flight from Rome to Newark until like recently.
And even if they went Delta, they'd dump them in Atlanta and then you'd
or JFK.
Go up. Yeah, so there is no direct flight from Rome to Cleveland.
Laura and I with our logistics.
Logistics, you know that really bothers us. But also King Cooper, I'm going to Berlin, I'm going to Germany. We are going to Germany. Like, are you shitting me? 10 toes.
Was so like ride or die in that moment. He's like, I guess I'm going. And he was like, we are going. No questions. Nothing. He was just like, we're doing this, bro. And I love that.
Yep, we love it. So now begins our European shenanigans. But we have a really sweet moment on the plane between Cooper and Scotty where he's like, Scotty, I should really thank you. Like, you are like facilitating this European sex odyssey adventure that I'm going to go on. Like, it is my duty, my job to have like crazy European sex. We were founded by prudes and I'm going back to my forefathers and I'm going to have crazy European sex. And it is just very funny and he's like so earnest about it. He was like, thank you, Scotty. Like, thank you for like, we're doing this. This is my destiny and you are part of it. It is so funny. But when they land in London. So fun. Big Ben. So fun. And we are then on our European shenanigans, which begin with soccer hooligans right off the bat.
Yep. All the way for Manchester United, private club in this pub for fans only. They have to prove themselves. But there's one thing that I think is consistent, and it kind of reminds me of Philadelphia Eagles fans, that they take care of their own. So if you were a fan of Manchester United and these strangers were, once they thought that they were Scotty and Jamie were riding just as hard for Manchester, they took care of them the whole time. There is drunken shenanigans. They obviously can't hold their alcohol as well as people who begin drinking at 10. So they find themselves blacking out and on a double decker on their way to Paris for free because they made friends. And in some part of their drunken journey, they shared, we need to go to Paris. And they're like, that's where we're going. That's where the next game is, because Manchester is going to play the Paris Frogs.
Mm-hmm. So off they go, and they leave. The soccer hooligans end up beating up somebody, and Scotty and Cooper go, and they meet up with Jamie and Jenny. and in France, in Paris, and we get the spiel about Jamie's new camera and everything that he had to do for it and why it's so important and it's very expensive, like blah, 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 blah. And this is also where we have, just Cooper, the relationship between Cooper and Jenny, because before it's like, no, Jenny, like you're not a girl. You're just a guy with long hair. Like you're just our buddy. Like you're just a guy. You're just like one of the guys. And then, Cooper says something like, yeah, like all the girls at our high school, like are like, they make them all look like walruses. And Jenny's like, I'm a girl at your high school. And he's like, no, you're not.
He was very much treating her like, but you're not a real girl. You're my best friend's little sister.
Yeah.
But not little sister, but like they're twins. But it's like that concept of like, I don't think of you that way because of XYZ.
Yeah, like you're my buddy. You're my buddy. And then we have like very fun kind of like, what are we going to do? Let's go to the Louvre. It's 2004. People, it's 2004. A time, a place, a capsule, right? We're in lines.
And I feel like, again, I never went to the Louvre, so I don't, and yet then or now, in order to bypass those lines, would that have been arranged by travel agents ahead of time? Is that how? Okay.
Yeah, that could be done, or you could like get there and go hire guides and stuff. Like there are ways to get around that, but like they are 18 years old. Like they are just, they have a Frommers and a dream, right? Like it's different. It was different. It was like a different time, right? So, we have shenanigans. We have the robot fight. Oh, my robot balls. Just makes me think of Grandma's Boy. Amazing.
Grandma's Boy is another movie of the times.
My robot legs. Yeah, we should cover that one. Grandma's Boy is fantastic. Also a capsule, a time and place. Okay, so after our robot fight, we go to dinner, and so, it's so funny. It's so funny too because it's like we're in Europe. Like let's all stay together. We can't split up. This is like a destiny trip. We're in Europe. And then we have our table map that kind of serves as like an anchor piece throughout the rest of the movie. But all it is like London to Denmark to Amsterdam to Berlin.
It's not this huge. It's so funny because at first you have like people, I think specifically Jamie and maybe even Scotty at one point, they were like, but Berlin is not, Paris is not on the way to Berlin. And logistically, there are people who take day trips if they're in Paris and you take a super speed train, go to Berlin for the day and come back. So again, some of these aren't that unheard of for the trips that they're taking.
Yeah, this is totally doable. Yeah.
And like even Laura and I, we were in Milan and we had like we missed our train because we were told that there were somewhere there was going to be taxis, but there's not. Anyway, we missed our train. And when we get to the station, they're like, okay, well, you missed it. You can't refund your previous train tickets, but you can just buy new ones on site. So this is still very much alive and well. And that's what the four of them did when they were train hopping and going to these different cities where they would just go to where places sold tickets and you didn't have to get them ahead of time. It was just a matter of were they sold out or not.
Yep. Jamie is using the Frommers guide and he has tickets and passports and things in his like belt that he wears against his belly, his money belt. We love that. Jenny meets Christoph in the train station, a charming Frenchman, right? We don't like Christoph, but we like that this is where Cooper notices Jenny's ass and he's like, ooh, European ass. And he's like, oh my God, it's Jenny. Oh my God. So by now we can see what's going to happen. We see the character situation that's going to happen there. We love that. It's a teen movie. Like we love it. We love it. I want to point out that Scotty and Scotty's mom are both reading Sinner by Jackie Collins. It's very funny. Why, Scotty, why are you reading that? Why does your house have two copies of that one book? It's very strange. It's very funny.
Part of one of the fun facts that I saw, it was one of the only books that they got like legal rights that they can show. So every time you see that book, it's because instead of like going off and trying to get like legal rights for multiple books, they just use that same book throughout the whole film because they had no money for production on this. I don't know what the exact number was, but it adds to the fact of why Matt Damon did his guest spot. He just happened to be in Prague when they were in Prague filming, and he was filming Brothers Grimm, and they were like, hey, we have this scene. Do you want to come and be here? Because they couldn't fly anybody. It was just them in a dream to make Eurotrip.
See, and I think that's what makes it all better too, because it's one of those things that couldn't be replicated also because, buongiorno, Fred. I cannot describe what it was like seeing this for the first time. Hysterics is like not the word. It was like clutching my sides, like about to cry, like shaking with laughter. Like this was like one of the funniest things I had seen when I saw this for the first time.
How do you not laugh? And still,
how did they not laugh?
I want to know like the full blooper. Like I know we see some of the bloopers at the end of this, but imagine a full, like all the bloopers. This is where they're actors, right? Actors. Like this is where actors, because how do you not break character every time? I can't. The thigh touching, he's like sexually assaulting them more or less every time they go through a tunnel. And then at the very end, he's got his pants off. He's in a garter. And smoking a cigarette. Yeah. It's like definitely like not something to be LOLing about like sexual assault. But like in this moment, you're like, what is happening? And everyone's, what is happening? Because people are saying no. People have moved across the train car. Now we're on the other side of the train car. And time again, they keep saying, there's other compartments. This is not the compartment for you.
They end up throwing him out after the cigarette, which is, it's Fred. God, you have to see it. It's very funny. We end up in Cran-sur-Mer. Cran-sur-Mer is very funny because it basically is just all of the hot girls are at the monument, which is where Jamie wanted to go because it has a famous nude beach. Cooper and all of them wanted to go to like what was written down as the famous nude beach. They go there and it's all touristy old dudes naked. Here's the thing that I really appreciate about Eurotrip. It's one of the only movies where you see a lot of male full frontal.
Yes. Because it always comes down in a lot of media, you always see, women full frontal, but male full frontal is few and far between.
Yeah.
And even with Euphoria, there was prosthetics.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we get all of these penises during this nude scene, and not our like mains. We get like the other actors. But like we get it. We see it. It's not just like a gratuitous boob scene in the beginning with Cooper and that girl. We also get there's like a variety of nudity. And I feel like there isn't a lot of variety of nudity anymore. I feel like it's very like, you get shots of hairy asses from men or like between the legs or like a shadowy shaft. You don't get just like dick.
Silhouette.
It's very artsy when it comes to the men, and women are just like bouncing tit, there's a double standard. And I like that in this movie, there was equal both.
Yeah.
I think it's important. I think that's important. Okay. We also have the reveal of Michelle Trachtenberg in her bathing suit. She's hot. No bones about it.
Yeah. But again, this adds to Cooper's story where we see her the way Cooper's seeing her in this slow-mo. Oh my gosh. My friend's sister, who's also my friend, is like, I'm starting to be attracted to her. Oh my gosh, I am attracted to her. And I know both of us, we are not in the camp of friends to lovers storyline and books. And there's very few and far between that we allow and accept in our lives. This is one of them. This feels harmless.
Yeah, harmless. He works for it, right? Like we watch his whole like journey to realizing that he is falling for her. It's very fun. We don't see her fall for him, which I really liked. We just see her be like, okay, you can buy me a drink. And then she like totally leaves him like later in the club. We don't see her fall for him. We only see him. And I love that.
Yeah. And even in the end, when they, again, spoiler for this film, when they're still together in college, she's like, not again. Like she's just like still like, it's very black cat golden retriever. Mm-hmm. Like he is infatuated in love with her. And she's like, yeah, as you should be.
It's great. It's great. It's great. I like Scotty the Simp reading out emails that he printed out between him and Mika. Fantastic. We love that. Scotty also has a series of erotic dreams about Mika where she give myself, sweep her off her feet, all of this stuff. One of them is, serenaded by David Hasselhoff because she is German and you don't hassle the Hoff because he's real big in Germany. We love that for him.
Was he still a big deal when you were in Germany?
Great question. I have no idea. Definitely not down south where I was. Maybe north, maybe in Berlin. Yeah. Fun stuff. Amsterdam. We arrive at Amsterdam. Amsterdam is fun. I've been to Amsterdam several times. This has never happened. Any of these things.
I was going to ask, have you gone to like a brownie shop, a bakery?
No, not a bakery. No, I've not been to
a specialty shop.
I've been to the coffee shops, not a bakery specifically. And I've never gotten I've never on purpose, had eaten something that I thought had drugs in it that didn't have drugs. No, thank you. No, thank you. Drugs, please. Very fun. I have never gotten a blowjob and gotten robbed at a camera shop, and I've never had Lucy Lawless put a clapping monkey on my penis. None of these things has happened to me.
I've never been to Amsterdam, but I know somebody who has, and I'll tell you who it is later, Laura. And they told me they lost their virginity in Amsterdam in the red light district, and poor stupid boy. He's like, and she told me like Americans are her favorite, and I was so big, and all I had to keep saying to him was, you paid her to say like she wants more money. Like, what did you think? No, she really meant okay.
And that's why it's the oldest profession in the world.
If you think so. And I think he went back to her too. And I was like, this is exactly
this is what she
like,
wanted.
I'm not here. Like, I'm not
Go
like,
off, queen.
I'm not hating on you. I'm just trying to I'm glad you got your confidence. I'm glad all of this is happening for you. I'm just telling you, you literally paid her to boost your ego for an hour.
Oh boy.
What do I know?
What do I know? What do I know? I know that Club Vandersex will give you a free t-shirt and a safe word that you cannot pronounce. That is what I know. I mean, obviously it's like borderline not funny, but it is very funny. It's Lucy Lawless and she plays it perfectly. It's all very fun. And this kind of completes Cooper's sexual arc more or less because
he's done.
He's done. He's done after this. He has a hell of a time. He ends up, after the monkey clapping, he ends up bent over the table with
triple dildos
and a laser sight
probe?
on his
I don't know
on the asshole. So he had a night. He had a night. Everybody had a night. It is very quiet when they meet up the next morning. Nobody really wants to talk about it.
Nobody wants to talk about it, but they have to talk about it because Jamie, while getting his blowjob in the alley, also gets robbed. And the thing about Jamie being robbed is the guy wouldn't have known if his shirt was undone. And under his shirt is where all of the tickets, the passports, the money, all of the goodies. And so Jamie was distracted with, again, boys being boys, was distracted. So when he got mugged from behind, give me your wallet, give me your cash, give me whatever you have, he's getting sucked off and rips the cash off of him and just hands it. He's like, I'm distracted. Go away. Let me get my blowy. And so now we don't have our tickets to get to our next destination, which was Berlin. And where do we go? Well, how much cash do we have? We're not even there yet. We have to figure out how to get to Berlin. So they're kind of pedaling on the side of the road, trying to hitch a ride. And Scotty, with his bad German, there's no way he would have passed A1.
No.
Right. No. He spoke to somebody. They said Berlin, and they were like, yeah, Berlin. They all get in the back of this guy's car. And meanwhile, the guy has been saying the whole time, you will never find me in Berlin. I stabbed somebody there. I fought. So I'm a wanted man in Berlin. I will die before I go back there. But where does he end up? They end up in Bratislava, and Bratislava is where, you know, the driver is like saying in German, oh my gosh, they're never going to find me here in Berlin or here in Bratislava. And 4 of them, they're like, yeah, bet no one's going to fucking find us here either, because they're in Eastern Germany. And it's very sad and it's very depressing. And you can tell just like they're not in Kansas anymore. And they pull their money together. What do they have? They have $1.83 American US dollars. But the exchange rate is pretty sick because they are living in like a 6-star resort for the night. And they used $1 of it. So they're like, well, if there's one way we're going to live, this is how we're going to live, and we're going to have a fun night, and we're going to go out partying. We're going to do like a Eastern European club, and the club is owned by French Christophe, who we met in Paris, and everybody's dressed to the nines. They have like tailored outfits, and they have another good night. They have a good night. They hit up some absinthe. I would argue it's considered illegal absinthe in the States because now it's hard to find absinthe with the hallucinogenic property that makes the whole green fairy of it all. But we are still on the hunt. Laura and I are deep in our let's look for absinthe with the green fairy era. And we might never get there.
I've been looking since college. I've been looking since I went to Athens. I've been looking
since this movie and since Moulin Rouge. We are trying to fight the good side.
We're trying. We're looking. So what does absinthe do? Well, if you go by this movie, it makes you have a hell of a time, and it makes you make out with your twin. Like graphically.
Crazy. And I like that both Cooper and Scotty look at each other like, no. And there was the point where Jenny and Jamie both are sober enough in one moment to realize who they're making out with. And they're like, this is gross. Oh my God. Freaking out in the middle of a club. Rightfully so.
Cutscene next morning. Hungover. Cooper smiling ear to ear.
Cooper really is like the main character.
he's like, hey, so that was crazy.
Did y'all do anything crazy? My night was great.
Like, okay, fine. Let's just talk about it. We kissed. Jamie and I kissed. We kissed. It's done. We're never going to talk about it again. It didn't happen.
He kissed me. I didn't kiss him.
We're never going to talk about it again. He's like, okay, fine. Here, Jamie, can I see your Frommers? Oh, look, Bratislava. Here, fun fact. You kissed your sister, man.
Here's a fun fact. I say that all the time still. Here's a fun fact.
It is so funny. Oh my gosh. Hey guys, where's the beef? Our Miami Vice loving driver is here, and he's going to pick us up and he's going to take us to Berlin. Oh my God. Finally, we are here to Berlin. I love that Scotty is just pure vibes. He's just holding up pictures, hoping it matches up to the apartment that Mika lives in.
Also, they have been pen pals through email and like quote snail mail. So like at what point was he not looking at he should have brought the return address with him. Scotty, you are pre-med. You are like book smart, but not street smart.
At all. But he nails it. He goes up and he knocks on the door of Mika's apartment. And who joins him? Fucking King Cooper. King Cooper joins him. What, man? You think I'm going to let you do this alone? I can't all this way.
Cooper is so good. He's such a good friend.
Love him. Love him. Opens up. Old lady can't hear anything. All right, fine. Gag 1. Gag 2. Mika's not there. Come on in. Gag 3. This is her stepbrother. Gag 4. Let's put him in a Hitler mustache and make him do the Elon march up and down the back of the couch. That's funny. That is funny because Cooper's watching that. He's like, hey. You see this shit?
Because the kid is doing it to himself. So it's like already giving him like, are you sure you want to be friends with this German? There's a lot of German families you could know. You really want to get roped into this one?
Scotty doesn't see it. Scotty is like deeply focused on Mika's dad. And it's just like, yes, sir. Tell me more. I am sorry. It is my fault. And meanwhile, Cooper is just like, this is crazy.
Cooper is great.
King Cooper. We love it. But we come out. But here's the other thing. Actually, yeah, and I'll bring it up later too. But where's Mika? Well, she was gonna go look at colleges in America, but all of a sudden, for no reason, she decided fuck that, and she joined up with Semester at Sea. She's in Rome, and she's gonna tour the Vatican, and then she's getting on the boat, and she's fucking off. And
which we love Betty. Good for her. She blocked him. She's like, the fuck you think you're going to talk to me after speaking to me like that? And then I was going to come to America. I was going to come and see you. Now I'm going to live my life. And to have that much confidence and be so self-assured in yourself as a senior in high school, post-senior, post-graduate, good for you.
Yeah, good for you. We love it. Scotty's crushed, right? Because they have no money, they have no tickets, they have no passports, they have no IDs. What are we going to do? Jamie is going to sell his Leica, his very expensive camera that we established earlier, for a bucket load of cash. And we are going to Rome on an airplane. They don't have IDs. Tell me how it works. It's a plot hole. We're not gonna worry about it. But off to Rome. We love this. We love this. We love the Vatican. Jess and I have been to the Vatican. We have toured. We have not rung the bell. We have not been to the papal suite.
I feel like we quoted every time we've done a trip to Italy. We quote this movie a lot.
I also quote the Family Guy. Pope, you have to wear your hat. It's a stupid hat. The Family Guy episode.
You don't need no water. Let the motherfucker
burn. So fun. So what happens? Okay. We're sneaking in to the private area, the private tours of the Swiss Guard. We've got some hard R's here, and Cooper used for comedic relief. All right, fine. Sign of the times.
Again, sign of the times.
Yep, sign of the times. Nope. In we go. Jamie gets hooked into actually doing a tour with some old people. So he's taking them through the Vatican, and Scotty and Cooper are sneaking off to try to find Mika. I don't know why you wouldn't just stay on the tour and just run ahead of them, but the boy's in love. He's not thinking through. It's fine. So shenanigans ensue. We ring the Bell of St. Marco to announce that the Pope is dead. Cooper, why are we doing that? Here's the thing, though. I don't know if you noticed this, but when they get to that area where the Bell of St. Marco, where that rope is, and there's two diverging paths, right? And we know that Mika went to the right. We know that. Cooper said, let's go this way. I'll stake my reputation on it. And he is correct. And Scotty goes, that's enough for me. And he goes the other way because he does not trust Cooper.
Okay. You have just spent arguably weeks traveling Europe with your best friend who got you here, who navigated your logistics here. Why is it now that you're doubting him? Because this whole time, Cooper has never led Scotty astray.
No, and none of any of these shenanigans would have happened if they had just followed Cooper. And because he was right. He was right the whole time. Scotty did not trust him. And they go into the papal suite. And this is where we get, look at my hat. I'm the Pope.
I love, I know there was that conversation on socials a while back during the conclave.
It's okay. I'm Catholic.
I knew you were going to get it because it's like you had like the cradle Catholics and the convert Catholics. Like the cradle Catholics will find that shit hilarious, but the convert Catholics would definitely be like, that's not something to be laughing about.
The cackle that I let out every time Cooper says, "No, it's okay, I'm Catholic." It's just like, but wait, no, he's got a point.
It's okay.
It's not as bad. It's funny. It is funny.
I love you knew where I was going with that.
Absolutely. Oh, it's so funny. Cooper doesn't give the hat back. There's a lot of back and forth. It catches on fire. Scotty also ends up in a Pope hat and tangled into the curtains. Out he goes to the balcony where the Pope is, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's the new Pope." The crowd is there. He plays the crowd a little bit. It's fun. Jess, we've been there. We have been there. It's very cool to think about. But then he sees Mika. He's like, Mika. Okay. And he like comes down. He's like, Mika, it's me, it's Scotty. And then out comes the Swiss Guard. And they're like, you and all your stupid friends are in trouble. You are in trouble. But here's our full circle moment. The hooligans, the soccer hooligans from London, are very racist towards Italians for some reason. And they come in and they're like, "Hey, you leave our boy alone. Fuck you." And they start attacking the Swiss Guard. And the Swiss Guard's like, "I'm Swiss." And the hooligans are like, "Who cares? Fuck you too."
Just let my friend talk.
Yeah, just let him speak. Say what you gotta say. And Mika says, like, "Who are you?" He goes, "I'm Scott from Ohio." From Ohio? Very fun. She goes, "Oh, Scott Thomas, like, what are you doing here?" We cut to Bert. What a fucking loser. Because he's watching it on TV.
Everybody's seeing this live on TV because of all the shenanigans happening inside the Vatican. You have, the papal hat on. He got tangled up in some curtains. They thought there was going to be a new pope. That new pope on the balcony is Scotty. So there's like a lot of reasons why they're on TV now. And the whole world is watching what is going down because they thought Scotty was the new pope, our American pope.
Yep. I love you, Mika. Flash cut to sex in the confessional. Just
wild shit.
Ass.
Her ass is great.
Yes.
But like, I was just like, that's still like, oh my God. And then people trying to go into the confessional, and they were like, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been so many days. I've cheated on my husband." And then it's just like ass in the confessional.
Ass. It is so funny. So funny. Okay. So Mika is still, here's the thing about Mika. She is a baddie. This is what I was going to mention. When I mentioned it earlier, that she still goes to summer at sea. She's not like, "Okay, Scotty, let's go back to America and look at colleges." She's like, "Fuck you, I paid. I'm going. Bye. Yeah, I'll see you.
I'm still going. Yeah.
Still write me, Scotty. Still write me, Scotty." And he's
see
like,
you
"Okay.
when I see ya."
Yeah, okay. And she's like, "All right, peace. Love it." So that's great. Jamie ends up meeting Arthur Frommer of the Frommer's Guide, and he recruits Jamie for a job. So Jamie's actually going to stay and write for them. And then Cooper, this is where it kind of comes to a head. Cooper is like, "I cannot believe I did not have any crazy European sex on this trip. It is absolutely wild. I didn't hook up." And Jenny's like, "Yeah, I didn't either. I really thought that like this was going to be my time to like really get some crazy European sex." And Cooper is like, "Whoa, okay."
Yeah, he was like, "Wait, what?
What?
Okay.
Okay. Cool. then, flash cut, we're at the airport, right? Cooper on the phone, Cooper getting a raise, Cooper getting promoted, Cooper getting the corner office. Work smarter, not harder. We love that. This is the Rome to Cleveland Lufthansa flight. Okay. Okay. Editor Sam's favorite joke is a very small one, and it is right here at the end. It's where everybody is saying goodbye to Jamie, and Scotty gives Jamie a disposable camera, and Cooper goes, "That's from both of us." Editor Sam loses his mind every single time. Just it's like the deadpan, just like, "That's from both of us." Like, no hesitation,
delivery.
Really quick, like, yeah.
But
Funny.
Cooper wanted the credit too. But ultimately, King Cooper started this whole journey, so he should get the credit.
He should get the credit, and he doesn't. What he does get is airplane sex with Michelle Trachtenberg. Good for him. Good for her. This still counts as Europe, right? Good for them.
Even if it didn't count for Europe, it's the Mile High Club. Good for you.
Good.
And go back to Europe and try it all over again.
Good for them. And then we're in the future, right? We're in the future. Scotty is just moving into college. He just got an email from Mika. She's in Greece, and they will see each other at Christmas. Oh, that's super fun, long distance. And then we're on the phone to Cooper and Jenny, and they're dating, and they're at a different college. It doesn't really say where they are.
Yeah, they're just at a different one.
Yeah, it doesn't say. And, he's beating up mimes. That's very fun.
Robot
we love
mimes.
them. Yeah, robot mimes. We love them. Cooper, not again. And then we get a knock on the door. Is that your new roommate? Cooper's a little bit jealous about their friendship. Like, he's not cooler than me, right? Right? You like me better, right? We love a little, keep him insecure. We like that. But the roommate is Mika. And this is also editor Sam is like, this would never happen. This would never happen. But you know what?
It would.
That's okay.
I don't know. I feel like this wouldn't have happened then, right? This wouldn't have happened then. But I feel like some colleges and universities are a bit more progressive, because I even remember when there were like work trips that I would go on where we would have to share rooms with other coworkers, and there was a preconceived notion, oh, girl to a room. Nothing's going to happen there if you cohabitate with somebody of the same gender. And it just depended on the person, right? So I feel like in 2004, this wouldn't have happened, but today it would.
Sure. 2004? No. The school thought I was a boy. No, they didn't. No, they didn't, Mika. This would never happen. No. They are thorough in that. And also, you're going to be found out real fucking quick. So enjoy this like one day that you have before the RA
Legit
is like,
the one day.
Yeah, before the RA is like, no. But Mika's there. They're Scotty and Mika are going to college together. They kiss. They end up having sex on the bed. We love that. And credits is Scotty doesn't know, with a bunch of like cut scenes and bloopers, and they are all funny.
Yeah, stay for the unseen, stay for the end credits. We love bloopers. There's not enough blooper reels in anything anymore. And I don't know if this is a testament to lack of, or like, I don't want to say lack of, but like minimal physical media, because I feel like you find those blooper scenes in like the DVD extras or like the Blu-ray extras. And now everybody is so like, even when you make a streaming purchase online, you're only getting the title. You're not getting all of the extras that come with those titles. But very fun movie. Do you like, I don't even want to say if you have a favorite. Do you have a favorite part? Because like the whole thing is just so comical.
I really don't have a favorite part. I love it all as a whole because it works so well as a whole. It's quick. Like, they don't make movies like they used to. This is a fast movie, under an hour and a half. We love that. Fantastic. Obviously, I've made it very clear. Cooper is my favorite character. I love Michelle Trachtenberg. Scotty, I could give or take, but he's like our hero, whatever. I love teen movies like this. I would also put like Can't Hardly Wait in this same category as Eurotrip, where it's like a raunchy teen movie graduation, love confession kind of situation. I love movies like this. I think it's really fun. And I think when you are of a certain age, that it is very fun to look back on these movies and be like, oh my God, it really was like that. It really was like that. Because just as you said, if you're boring, just say that. I'm so sorry. Like, Euphoria, that first season of Euphoria hits because that is real life. Like, that is how it was, just with phones. Like, now there's just phones. And it is just, talk about a time capsule, right? Like,
I hope there's stuff like this for this generation, like their own time, like the younger generations, that they have their like time capsule moments to be like, oh wait, it was like that. That was really fun. But everything's so tethered to being online. Who knows?
Because like a movie like this is not only a time capsule of like the times that it was like reflecting, but it's also a time capsule of like, you remember who you were and how you felt when you watched it. So it's like a time capsule of yourself that you can go back and revisit as well. And I think that is really interesting. But Jess, what about you?
Same thing. I feel like it's the movie as a whole, because I found myself laughing out loud watching this, which is like, and like different things. Like I remember when I had watched this, I didn't know who Fred Armisen is, but like in my age now, I'm like, oh my God, like I recognize him immediately and I know his contributions to, entertainment and to comedy. So there was a different appreciation that I had of him now. And then of course, Michelle Trachtenberg, like R.I.P. I went to the second you said like a bootleg David Spade. I'm sure that casting call had to be a young David something, right? So, I mean, everything about this movie. And I think also this brings back other moments and other things in history. Like I said, like when we've gone to Italy, the times that we've gone, or our times on a train, or like to times where we did a pub crawl and we were just obnoxiously drunk singing Scotty Doesn't Know in the back of an Uber or taxi or something in New York.
That really happened. We have video of that. That really happened.
That really happened. And now I like thinking about it. I remember we weren't far from the location, but we were just so drunk we didn't know that. It had to be like 3 stoplights, if that. So I think this movie just brings back so, like you said, not just a point in time of when you watch this, but a point in time that you like different points in time that you remember. There's so much nostalgia of like new memories being made that are integrated because of this movie.
I mean, I have nothing else to add. That's a really good weird place to wrap. I don't have any fun facts. You sprinkled in.
I feel like all the fun facts I pretty much sprinkled in. But yeah, if you feel free to follow us on Instagram. We're at ACOFAE Podcast. We're also both on TikTok, ACOFAE Laura and ACOFAE Jessica. Find us on YouTube. We'll have our links in our show notes, and feel free to rate us 5 stars on any of your listening platforms. We'll talk to y'all soon. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.